So let's get in. Great Tax Revolt and Bitcoin Bull Run of 2026. So I chose this video today because it's going to cover quite a bit of multiple topics on short little skits. You know what I mean? Of covering each topic. And so I thought that would be a good idea to go ahead and start this. You know what I'm saying?
It's just don't bother me. Leave me alone. Make me feel safe.
What?
Oh, hold on a minute. Did somebody say tax revolt? Because I gotta tell you, don't threaten me with a good time. But seriously, really, look at this. It appears tax revolt is trending. And before the pearl clutchers freak out, let's ask the most basic question imaginable. What are we paying taxes for?
You know
Where
what I mean?
does the money go? Oh, wait, that's where it goes.
It gets stolen.
Fraud. Not roads, not schools, not veterans. Fraud. We pay taxes to destroy civilization. It's a humiliation ritual. You work, they tax, they debase the money, they tax again, then they light it on fire and tell you to clap.
First of all,
have fun
the
doing
government
it.
doesn't have any money. Only people have money. The government only gets money by putting its hand in your pocket and taking it out.
If you think this is just one story, Minnesota, aka Big Trouble in Little Somalia, this thing is nationwide. Citizen journalists are unwinding a fraud network that the government knew about for 7 years. Your grandparents.
You got to comprehend, bro. I apologize. My bad over here. Like, again, not getting used to the buttons. There we go. Let me get a position right. I apologize. I was in the middle of the screen while he was talking that whole time. Still getting the buttons down. Forgot I was in the middle of the screen. All right. Anyways, the Somalia fraud problem is crazy. And trust me, I'm going to get to a video talking about that also. And it's very going to be... Let's just go. Like, I'm going to get into it.
Parents paid taxes their whole lives. And that money went to empty buildings with daycare signs taped to the windows. And it's insane. This all started with a 23-year-old YouTuber doing the job the DOJ and FBI refused to do. What a time to be alive.
Okay. I'm about to rant about the fucking IRS. If you can.
This guy is like about to fucking go off in a great manner.
Imagine that right now. They sent me a bill saying amount you owed was $15,617. Interest, $2,000. Failure to pay penalty, $1,359. Total, $18,992. Okay, with that being said, first off, it's made out to me. I'm not going to show you all my information, but it has my wife's social security number on it.
Gross incompetence. Gross incompetence, okay?
If you think I'm going to pay this to y'all or even file my taxes this year, you're stupid. I am so sick of our government taking our money. They tax us on every hour we work. They tax us on gas, food, everything we buy, property tax, everything. It is ridiculous. So, what your boy's fixing to do is I'm going to go ahead and have my lawyer look over this. I'm not paying this shit. If you want to come find me and put me in jail, good luck. I'm not going to with this. I am so sick of being taxed upon tax upon tax upon tax. Okay? It's ridiculous. Our government has failed us, and we're not doing shit about it. We're not doing a thing about it. We're letting it happen. We've got to come together and take care of this shit, okay? I am vivid right now, dude. I can't even think straight. I'm so mad about this. Okay, out of nowhere, all of a sudden I owe $19,000 to the IRS. Well, my message to the IRS is this. You.
Man, I almost got anger tears watching that earlier, and I know you felt it too. They tax every hour we work, gas, food, property, everything. And here's the
Right, like, aren't you guys, like, aren't all of you, like, aren't all of you sick and tired of being a slave in multiple ways? Like, this is just the tip. This is like a speck of the iceberg. You are the Titanic, and you're going into it, and you're never mind. I don't even know, bro, what I'm saying right now. But anyways, dude, you guys gotta comprehend, bro. It's a lot. It's a lot. It took me. I'm on year 15, bro, and I'm still learning every single day of how much corruption and messed up stuff that has happened to us, that has been happening, that has continued to happen, that is persisting currently right now as I speak and as he speaks. And as this information comes out, it's only going to get more blatant, and the corruption and the system is only going to get more violent and out of control, attempting to keep control.
punchline. The IRS can't even answer the phone. They can't help the people they're stealing from. Americans are deciding to not pay anymore because the corruption is no longer deniable. And here's the real question nobody wants to ask. What happens if everyone just stops? What are the feds going to do? Because I got news for you. If people are mad about daycare fraud, just wait until they understand inflation.
1981 through 2019, something like that. You take that quantity of monetary inflation, how many US dollars were counterfeited in a year, you divide it by the average hourly or the average annual wage rate, and then you can determine how many human hours or human years were stolen through currency counterfeiting. And so when you actually run the numbers, it was staggering.
Dude, dude, the numbers, I apologize. This video I happened to watch already. I forgot to mention, pre-watched. I normally don't pre-watch videos, but I didn't think I was going to react to this, and then decided I had to after watching it. Okay, the number he's about to tell you is so freaking crazy, bro.
Because the Fed had basically stolen, you could check my piece on this, it's been a while since I wrote it, but I think it was 23.5 billion human hours stolen per year for 40 years straight, which came out to like almost 1 trillion human hours stolen in the course of 40 years, which was equivalent to operating a slave force of 11 million people full-time for 40 years, something crazy like that. Now those numbers all sound belligerent, and it's like, what do you mean? The Fed's enslaving people? It's like, well, not necessarily. It's not whips and chains and putting people in the fields like we would traditionally associate it with, say, the antebellum South. But because it's less visible, and because almost no one understands it, and everyone thinks inflation's part of a normal and healthy economy, you can do this at a much larger scale, right? You can use inflation to steal human time. And really, the energy component, you could roll right into this too. Because when you're stealing human time, what are we doing with time? Is we are expending our metabolic energy at work, creating things. So you're stealing human life force, basically, through inflation.
This awakening, this anger, it's not random. It's not going away. And when you combine this with the next money print coming at us like a freight train, it tells me one thing. 2026 is the year Bitcoin goes ballistic. Not because of charts, not because of ETFs, because people demand an exit. We got a massive show today. Time to throw down.
The income tax is unnecessary. Again, something happened in the 20th century where the American people decided that there would be...
The 16th Amendment happened, yeah.
There's something happened where we have changed our attitude about what we want from our government. We've ushered in this overwhelming runaway welfare state that we cannot afford. And we've also become an American empire where we have troops around the world and we pay for the defense of Japan and Germany and everybody else. But at the same time, you had to have two ways of financing this. One we decided we'd have an income tax that we would start subtly and small that would escalate to the point that it really is the biggest ripoff in the country, along with a Federal Reserve System that allows us to monetize
that happened
debt.
65 years ago.
Well, I know, but since 65 years, we have seen the deterioration of this society that we love. I mean, the Libertarian Society is no longer with us because of these ideas.
Yeah, but in 1922, the top tax was 70%. Right now, it's 28%. So how can you say we have gone down a slippery slope where we're getting worse and worse?
Because the amount of tax coming out of the economy is still much greater. The amount of tax the government takes is over 40%. You know, when the Founding Fathers got sick and tired of the British tax and they had a tax of about 25%, the American people are rather complacent to put up with this. But more important...
Before you run away with that figure, let's remind our audience that in the first place it's not 40%, it's 39%. And the second place, 16 of that is by the individual states and localities. The federal tax is too high, but it's under 23%.
What did the indentured serf, what was he required to pay his master? 25%. And so we are a bit, we have enslaved ourselves. Not only are we enslaved through the tax system, but we're enslaved because we keep all the records.
You comprehend how old this is? What dude, this is like 1995 or 90 or something. I can't give you the exact year because it doesn't say. It doesn't give no information on the exact year, right? So just know it's like 25 years old. This is 25 years old easily, or more, or 30 years old. Excuse me, 30 years old at least, or more.
Don't keep the right records. Can you imagine this tax simplification bill that just came out? And if we don't learn those forms and do it right, we have a gun pointed at our head by the IRS and say, you're going to be put in prison if you don't learn to fill out those forms. How many times did they have to go through the...
Ron Paul was never wrong. He was just ahead of the curve. Welfare state, warfare state, endless taxation, central banking. He laid the foundation for this awakening we're all witnessing.
Yeah, look how old he is
now.
right there.
And meanwhile, are you feeling the burn? Because Bernie says tax the rich. Why? To fund more daycares? More wars? More NGOs? More corruption? I don't know. Maybe read the room, Bernie. Statism is over. I'll tell you what we actually need. In the Fed, abolish the income tax. Because there's nothing federal about the Fed. And they don't even have reserves.
Someone could ask, well, so if the government can bring the limited amounts of money out of thin air, why do they collect taxes?
What?
I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right?
Okay, I'm just double checking.
Limited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not.
Exactly.
It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst.
The biggest bubble ever.
The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar would fall, and the Western civilization with it.
If they can print the money, why do we pay taxes? Exactly. So how did banks get the power to print money on behalf of the U.S. government? You're not ready for this story, but you're about to be anyways, thanks to this banger from Burn the Fed. Roll it.
Oh, my bad, that was the wrong one. This is a crazy montage, bro. Metaphorical, Titanic, like I told you, bro. You're just scratching the surface on this information that you're about to find out about already.
In 1910, 6 of the most powerful men in the world held a meeting.
Oh, also, by the way, it's actually awesome that this dude, whoever this is, Burn the Fed, used an NF song, bro. He used an NF song in a most amazing way to fucking tell you the information about how fuck you been?
This included Senator Nelson Aldrich, Representative Abram Pyatt Andrew, Henry Davison, partner of J.P. Morgan, Benjamin Strong Jr., economist, Frank Vanderlip, president of the National City Bank of New York, and Paul Warburg,
I messed up
heir
that one.
of a banking
I forgot it was a
dynasty.
little off.
This group of men secretly met at the Jekyll
purpose.
Island Club, an exclusive club for the elites. Members with big names like J.P. Morgan, William Vanderbilt, and William Rockefeller. During their time at Jekyll Island, they put together a plan to establish the Federal Reserve.
Add my own little
This gave bankers the ability to print money on behalf of the U.S. government.
Sounds.
And they weren't going to let anyone stop them. John Jacob Astor IV, his family founded the American Fur Company, and Benjamin Guggenheim made his fortune mining and melting metals. Isidor Straus was
His violins are better.
with his brother. These three men opposed the plan for the Federal Reserve and were powerful enough to stop it. In 1912, they were to set sail on the White Star Line's newest ship, the Titanic. The White Star Line was owned by a parent company called the International Mercantile Marine Company, owned by J.P. Morgan. Morgan was supposed to be on the Titanic as well, but he canceled his trip. No one really knows why. Astor, Guggenheim,
Yeah, we do.
and Strauss all perished April 14th, 1912. December 23rd, 1913, President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into law, giving bankers power over our money. Companies like J.P. Morgan Chase Bank own shares of the Federal Reserve. They know that loaning money to the government is profitable and safer because the loans are backed by taxpayers. The Federal Reserve aims to have a 2% inflation rate, which means they aim to steal 2% more of your money than they did the last time. And they will continue to print more and more until the ship starts to sink. This system creates a cycle where the purchasing power of your hard-earned dollars steadily erodes over time. Meanwhile, those at the top with large asset holdings see their wealth grow as inflation pushes up the value of their investments. The more money that gets pumped into the economy, the wider this gap becomes, leaving ordinary people struggling to keep up. It's a monetary system to secretly siphon the wealth out of a nation. Every time money's printed, it makes your life harder and their lives easier. Your money becomes worth less, and their assets become worth more. This is the answer you're looking for.
He ain't lying.
The next time you ask yourself, why is everything so expensive? The elites know a society based on debt will not stay above water forever. That's why they're all getting on the lifeboats while the rest of us drown in inflation.
Hence Bitcoin. That is appreciating further and faster than any debt. I don't know exactly when this part's going to happen. Trust. When inflation gets so bad, everyone's freaking out because they don't know how to use their money in a way that's going to allow them to continue to live and exist in the manner that they're used to and comfortable with. You're going to see the cracks start to become crevices.
Congress is silent because they built the largest racket on earth. NGOs, non-governmental organizations that exist solely to siphon your money back into political power. Taxpayer to politician, politician to NGO, consultant, then to the donation, rinse, repeat.
Guarantee you it goes from the American taxpayer's back pocket to the back pocket of politicians in Washington, D.C. And if it's either party, I don't care. They need to be exposed and they need to be out of office.
And why not talk about the Pentagon? 8 failed audits in a row, $4.65 trillion unaccounted for. If you failed one audit, you'd be in prison, but they want more money. And Representative Burchett said the quiet part out loud. People who follow the money end up not existing anymore.
You have a Pentagon that has billions of dollars that they hide. We don't ask for any accounting of. They never pass an audit in the history of audits. I've often said the only way we're really going to get to the bottom of this is somebody's going to walk out of one of these labs with this information and puts it out on the internet before they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head 5 times.
Right?
I mean, it's kind of a valid question. How often has that happened? How often indeed? All right. Now, let's slow down for a minute because this next part is the heart of today's show. Now, let's check out this article from the legend, Marty Bent. And the title alone says everything. Taxation is a humiliation ritual. Let me read this to you because this is one of those pieces that hits harder when you hear it. Work hard to get paid in a currency that is continually debased. Pay exorbitant taxes on those wages and watch them get handed to foreigners who were ushered in the country for votes that are used to tax you more.
Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there? What? Yeah, it's right there. It says the child, you've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in here.
We're gonna educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
This is the most craziest story of 2025 because it came out in 2025, you know what I mean? So I know it's 2026, you know, first day, yay. Just this came out before it was 2026, you know what I mean? So, biggest story is ending the year.
I don't see it.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like that here.
Never seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've never seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
Dang,
and how does
bro.
that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
Disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant, too. That's, if they get caught for that, it's a federal offense.
If they get caught.
Law.
And do you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him.
Comprehend the government he just talked about that should be doing something about it is equally as corrupt as the corruption that they're talking about that is taking place right there in front of them.
Doing this? Well, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my God. Well, where? Yeah, it's just. I've never seen nobody here at all.
So how long have you been living here?
Since 2017.
You've never seen a single child walk in that building?
No, not at all.
So this daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either.
No.
And
That didn't punch you in the chest. Check your pulse because that's the whole game. Work, inflation, taxes, redistribution, more taxes. That's humiliation. This has been an objectively illuminating, enraging, and humiliating week for the American taxpayer. No exaggeration. That is exactly what this week was. A 23-year-old YouTube journalist by the name of Nick Shirley dropped an investigative report on the child daycare and medical transportation fraud taking place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A 23-year-old YouTuber, not the FBI, not the DOJ, not the IRS, a kid with a camera. And here's the part that should make everyone furious. This exact fraud has been reported on multiple times since at least 2018. They knew. They always knew. We are told that paying taxes is our civic duty. Roads, healthcare, veteran services, the military, feel-good services. That's what they sell you. That's what they tell you. They're scammers. In reality, our tax dollars are being funneled to immigrants and the politicians who brought them in for votes via low-effort fraud schemes that are grotesquely offensive to every hardworking American. Grotesquely offensive. That's the phrase, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. We're talking tens of billions of dollars in one state.
Welcome to my world. I ain't gonna go into all the things I know that I can no longer unsee. Let's just say this is one of many layers of the plethora of onions you're gonna have to go to see the stuff I see that I can no longer unsee.
And Minnesota isn't some economic powerhouse. And then Marty pivots. The California state auditor just released a 92-page report showing $70 billion in taxpayer funds have been lost. Poof, gone.
California Congressman Kevin Kiley, he is sounding the alarm in his home state, saying under Governor Gavin Newsom's leadership, it has become the, quote, fraud capital of America.
And we have team coverage. Our national correspondent, Alana Austin.
So that's crazy, bro. California became... Oh, crap. California has become the fraud capital of the world, they're saying? Oh, crap. You see that? My headphones hit the thing. And the thing. Put this back right here. And this is supposed to be up here like this. You're not supposed to be hanging off like that. You're supposed to be chilling right there. All right, cool. Back to this.
And is on Capitol Hill with more on the investigations into Tim Walz. But we start with correspondent Heather Myers, who has more on what is going on in California. A rainy day out there on the
More
West
fraud.
Coast. Heather,
That's
what
what's going on in California.
Well, good afternoon to you, Katrina.
Hey, Mike, I appreciate the like, bro.
This latest report was issued by the state auditor, and that's a nonpartisan position. That state auditor now puts 8 state agencies on the high-risk list of agencies to watch out for things like fraud and mismanagement as well as waste. Here's a look at that 92-page report.
92
Newly added
pages.
to the high-risk list is California's food.
92 pages, bro. 92 pages, bro.
Food stamp program. If the state doesn't get the improper payments under control, it could cost an extra $2.5 billion. Also on there is the Department of Finance, which was tasked with giving out COVID relief funds.
She said $2.5 billion.
Was taken by fraudsters. Then there are infrastructure issues like California's deteriorating dams and also the high-speed train that's already cost taxpayers $18 billion without a single section of track complete.
See, that's what's crazy right there. 18 billion. Is that what she said? Is that what she said?
Already cost taxpayers $18 billion.
Yeah. $18 billion for a high-speed rail that has not even laid one line of track at all. And then look, you know what's funny, bro?
Without a single.
You know what's funny? Like, you know what's funny about all this is I've been talking about how taxation is theft and that everybody has been getting millions upon millions upon. Look, I was saying, look, you gotta think, I was saying millions of dollars when in actuality it has been billions of dollars. So the whole time I've been saying millions of dollars have been being stolen, in actuality billions of dollars have been being stolen. And on top of that, this whole time I be telling people and they just be laughing at me, bro. I mean, I'm talking about like people I see in real life. Like I be telling them, bro, like you have had millions upon millions of dollars. And in actuality, it's billions, right? And they don't even compute that. They don't even get mad that millions of dollars have been stolen from them. I wonder if they're going to figure out, once they figure out billions of dollars have been stolen, billions, then maybe you guys might snap. Maybe the population might snap out of it. Like, because you got to comprehend. Currently, you have to think, right? A lot of people are NPCs, yet NPCs can be changed, right? Like everyone has the ability to turn into the butterfly cell. You know what I'm saying?
Section of track complete. Other reports cite $24 billion spent on the homeless issue that critics claim the state lost track of. More recently, there's a report that says California cell phone users paid a surcharge for years to upgrade the state's 911 system. Here's Congressman Kevin Kiley talking about what happened to that plan.
That after spending $650 million on that system, the state is totally scrapping it and starting over, completely wasted the money because the technology doesn't work. Mind you, we are very close to Silicon Valley in Sacramento, and yet the government can't figure out how to make basic technology perform.
$2.5 billion SNAP fraud, $24 billion on homelessness, $18 billion for high-speed rail. But there's no rail. There's no account.
Do the math. That is like almost $50 billion on those three things.
Accountability. And what's the response? Well, it appears Gavin Newsom and the status controlling California now want a 5% wealth tax to fill the void. Of course they do. Because the solution to fraud is always more money for people committing it. When all is said and done, it is likely the American taxpayer has been pillaged for trillions upon trillions of dollars. Shout out to Bad.
And to recap, because I don't think you were here, Mike, when this happened. Earlier in the video, dude did the math and equivocally stated that the equivalation, is that a word? Equivalent. Let's go with that. The equivalent, right, to how much money has been stolen in the last 40 years is the same as if you enslaved 11 million people and consistently worked them full-time for 40 years. That's how much money. Trillions of dollars have been stolen.
Bastiat and the Plunderers. Read the law. You could read it in a couple hours. The best book maybe ever written all time. Trillions, not millions, not billions, trillions. And look around. Wages stagnant. Housing impossible. Families delayed or abandoned. Fertility collapsing. And people are starting to ask the questions they were never supposed to ask. Is America still the greatest country on earth anymore? That question alone would have been unthinkable 20 years ago. It doesn't seem like voting will fix this. We've reached the point where civil disobedience is required. That's the moment. That's when a system knows it has failed. The income tax was supposed to be limited and temporary in 1913. It's been 112 years. Temporary. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like flattening the curve. Something ineffective. Oh.
something ineffective. Yeah, think about it. The income tax that everyone is charged with currently today was supposed to be temporary, and it's been going on for 112 years. That is not temporary. That is permanently ingrained into our society that we're supposed to be paying income tax. We were never supposed to be paying income tax. And the silly thing is most people can't even wrap their head around that simple fact. They think that that's some aberration, like that's propaganda, that's made up. It's in our history books that that's what happened, yet still most people don't get it.
Oh yeah, what was that other? Transitory. We need to take the control of the money out of the hands of the central banks and the governments. The case for Bitcoin has never been stronger. That's it. That's the solution. Taxation steals from you directly. Inflation steals from you quietly. Bitcoin shuts off both. So I'll go ahead and end it the same way Marty did. Do you like being humiliated? Yeah, me neither. Absolute banger. Shout out to Marty Bent. Now, let's bring this bad boy home today. But before we do, look at our likes.
3 or 4 times, maybe. I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Let's take a quick second for our sponsors who keep this show on the air over at the Bitcoin Way. If your wealth lives in their system, it's not yours,
very
it's
close.
Theirs. That's why we scream
I'm actually
Bitcoin.
very
That's
close
why
to being able to check out
and that's why
not
you
this,
call our
Linden,
friends over
the
at
other
the
commercial,
Bitcoin Way. They'll
or the
walk you
other
through
ad.
multi-sig,
I might
self-custody,
call them for a
privacy, how to
free
run a node,
consultation
and the
though,
tools that keep
just
you
to see what they
sovereign
tell
when
me.
the fiat system pulls
Because
the
you get like
plug.
a
Don't wait
free
till it's too
30-minute
late. Book a free
consultation with
30-minute
the
consult
Bitcoin
today
Way.
using
See?
that link
He
in the
said
show
it.
notes.
See?
Need cash but don't want to sell your Bitcoin?
Just
Glidden
use
is
their
the
link.
global leader in Bitcoin-backed
But
loans.
I'm very
over
close
$9
to being
billion
able
in
to
loans
try
since
this out
2018, and they were the first
and
to
see if
offer
I can get a
proof of
loan
reserves.
against my
With Glidden,
Bitcoin.
you get custody loans,
And
no
I'm-
credit
and
checks,
I-
no monthly payments, and more. Visit
Probably half of it is going to go back into buying more
to learn more
Bitcoin.
and get 25 basis points off your first loan. Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
I'm going to use it to buy
taxation
one
is
thing that I
literal
need.
theft.
So I'm going to
And
use
now,
the loan
the
to
man
buy
that
one
taught
thing
you
I need and
to
then
end
pay
the
off
bed.
the
I
loan
firmly believe now that our
and
day
invest the rest
is
into
coming.
Bitcoin.
The conditions are such that there is room now for the defense of liberty. The people know that the system we have is not working. It's not working economically. It's not working monetarily. Our foreign policy is not working. and therefore they're looking for answers. They will not welcome us with open arms. We've found that out. But there is a vacuum out there.
Damn, are you serious?
And the vacuum is not in one political party. It is pervasive.
I feel you.
It's throughout the country.
I don't know what yours is right now, but overall ours is like 40%, and it's based on like being taxed. The same money is being taxed like 3 times, right? So for every dollar I spend, it gets taxed. Or for every dollar I make, it's going to be taxed 3 times in the course of me having that dollar. Does that make sense? Yeah, good enough.
Country. It is throughout the political system. But our views are just...
And so that means you have to be getting taxed at least 4 or 5 times. Does that make sense? Taxation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just think of it this way. Like, you get, I work. And I get paid. Yeah, before I get paid, I get taxes taken out. And then I go to the store and I get taxes taken out on everything I buy. And then at the end of the year, I have to pay taxes. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's 3 different occasions where I have to pay tax on the same money. Do you see what I'm saying?
Just as pervasive.
And
Ideas
well, I mean, I'm pretty certain, I don't know about you, but I think that's everybody. Everybody in the world has to do something in some shape or form to that. I'm just saying the overall degree is probably more or less. Right? Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, we're pretty close. I'd say United States and Canada are pretty close. Pretty close. Pretty close in how fucked everybody is. And then, like, you gotta think, like, okay, we're supposed to be some of the freer countries, the most, like, elevated, right? And yet, like, look how broke everybody is in these countries, our countries. And then you gotta think, it goes only downhill from here, bro. For the rest of the world, it goes downhill from here, bro. Like, and that's so... It's infuriating.
They can't stop them. An idea whose time has come cannot be stopped by any army or any government.
Facts.
Can you feel it? It's almost like we have a date with destiny, my friends. There's no stopping this train. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp by sharing the Sound Money Gospel, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Stay bullish, my friends. Our time is nigh.
I don't want to let it in because I don't want to, because it potentially might give me a commercial, and I don't want to deal with it. So, well, I can let this part go.
Love you guys.
Oh, yes.
If you prefer to go.
He just said, I love you. So it's cool. He's just saying, I love you.